Yo, yo, yo! What's up, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are working on our Wayland window manager. Today's topic is trying to do text input handling. We have our own Wayland client, our own Wayland server, low dependencies. And we can kind of do like mouse right now, right? So if I like hover over this stuff or like drag this stuff, stuff's happening. But if I try to like click on this text box and type into it, nothing happens. Where if we were to do that in, over here somewhere, GUI demo like this, nope. Zig out bin demo, here we go. Here, something does happen, right? So, we want to get that working. And so yesterday we kind of did like this, big investigation into how this works. We kind of have like the mental model here. The quick version without all of the background is basically there's this like file dev input event. When you read this file with like, you read like structs over and over again, and each struct will have kind of like he might have a key field in him, right? This key represents a button on my keyboard. If my keyboard is a QWERTY layout, like US English keyboard, right? So if I have a keyboard that's a different layout, then it's up to like software to remap like semicolon to whatever letter that would be on like a German keyboard or something, right? So this gives us like a key. This is given to us in our window manager. We can run like Wayland on Wayland or in like a proper environment. So this is given to either, if you're like a client, this is kind of like directed like straight through Wayland to you. Or if we are using libinput to get our stuff, this kind of goes through libinput to us. Right, so this is like our entry point here. Then we have to like, if we are the server, we have to like propagate this stuff to other clients. But we also have to like provide key map info. So if I go into my keyboard settings, and in here say I want to be a Dvorak keyboard, right, instead of a normal one. This will do is this will set. This will like tell the window manager, hey, I want to be Dvorak. And the window manager will ask this library libxkbcommon. He will ask him to tell all the clients how to do that remapping. And all the clients are expected to also use libxkbcommon to basically ask, okay, so you gave me this letter. It looks like a semicolon to me, but like I know that since I'm like a German keyboard, because you told me that semicolons would turn into like O's with some hats. Or something like that, right? And so that's what we gotta do is we gotta use libxkbcommon everywhere to do key remapping. We need to make it so that our client like reports those remapped keys somewhere. We need to make it so that our server will send that stuff around. So the plan of action is to start with making our Wayland client interpret those key presses or in some way. And then once we kind of have the flow where our client can talk to a real Wayland compositor to get him, but then we will kind of know what we are expected to do, and then we can kind of do it from the other side. Yeah, should be pretty straightforward. Should be, but we'll see. We've been wrong in the past. So, Wayland app. Let's look at the specification. What are we supposed to be doing? Wow, there we go, we're here. So we start by saying we are sat down at our computer and we are sitting in a chair, which is a seat, and this seat has a keyboard at it. So we need to ask this guy in our client abstraction, wherever we ask for the pointer, I think we just ask for a keyboard as well. Oopsies, I hate when I press that button. And presumably we stash that shit somewhere for later. And presumably we also do some stuff with that thing, but I don't know what yet. I think maybe we just write down what the compositor says to us, we should get logs of unused events right now, so we can kind of just run this guy and see what happens. Interesting. So we're actually getting mad right away. I presume what's happening here is that the keyboard, the server is sending this like WL keyboard key map thing. And the Wayland spec doesn't really guarantee that file the way he sends it is he like pumps all the information into a file descriptor and gives us the file descriptor and we're supposed to like read from it. And my guess here would be that either we have a bug in here and we're not processing file descriptors correctly, or he hasn't sent it yet. Because like there's no real guarantee that they're gonna come in order. So we can kind of like check this a little bit by just hucking a sleep somewhere. Like just as a little check. How long is that? This is in nanoseconds. So maybe we can do 100 milliseconds? Should be enough, I would hope. Yeah, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oh. So this is actually happening. It's when I move my mouse over, that's when this is happening. So it's not on init. Interesting. Where does this come from? Here. So we're trying to get a buffered event. We say, hey, this message requires a file descriptor. We should check what this message is. Just to see. And he's like, where the fuck is it? Yeah, so he is getting a keyboard key map like we expected. Now, the question is why is that file descriptor not coming in? Like, what the fuck? How is this supposed to work? Because I believe this did work at a point. Okay. I would like to see if this is ever happening. Got file descriptor. Let's start here. Let's just start here. Nope. Oh, wait, we do see one at the start, which is interesting. Is this, am I misunderstanding? No, this guy, he has a file descriptor here. Maybe the file descriptor is like optional? No. This has to be there. What the fuck? Okay, maybe if we see no FD, can we try something like basically retrying? How does this work? So we call get buffered event. We might want to do something like always try to consume data or something. Because right now we're kind of like never calling read again on the socket until we've exhausted everything. But also here, if we don't have the file descriptor, maybe it's not a bug. Maybe this just returns like, this like has to error out as like retry in a minute once you've tried reading again. But we could try doing this for a second. This might change behavior enough. Nope. Yeah, I would like to see if sending, if this guy like properly handling this would be useful. So this guy goes, Sorry, I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Can we do this? Yeah. So we do a read on the socket again, and then there should be stuff in here. And if it's still not there, then like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Still no. Interesting. So I think that's, I don't know like what the bug is, but it's annoying. I'll tell you that much. I'll tell you that much. So there's, I guess the option here would be that this file descriptor list is like not being populated, but it is being populated on our initial run, like for whatever other thing we're getting. Right? Like we do see got file descriptor here, and our format table is parsing correctly. So why is this different? I wonder if it takes time for Kwin to send us the file descriptor, or if like the versioning on this thing is different. It's very strange. I'll tell you that much. I tell you what. I tell you what. Very strange. I would, maybe we strace. Okay. So can we look at, like, will strace tell us got file descriptor? Like, this will tell us here, this receive message does have, we can see the file descriptor data come in. We can see the file descriptor come in, which means that we can kind of filter, we can look for like the last receive message here. And yeah, I don't see a fucking file descriptor anywhere. Okay, can we do this? Can we filter for receive message? That's so strange. Is it optional? Very strange. Oh, because the key map format. I wonder if it's like, if the key map format is 0, then it doesn't have to send a file descriptor or something? I wonder. I think we have to look at the Wayland, like lib Wayland source code. And so it's going, you're probably reading the file descriptor of the previous message. I doubt it. Right? Like, if we, here, what we can do is we can dump this to strace, right? And we can look in here. We can literally look for messages that came in with control len is not equal to 0, right? And it's literally the only thing that we got was the only thing that we got was the format list for the GPU stuff, right? So it looks to me like they're sending us this key map request, which we can log again to double check, but with no file descriptor, which is just crazy. What the fuck just happened? There we go. What's a key request? I mean key map event. Sorry. So they're like the server is sending us. I mean, it says size here. It thinks it's sending us one. We just haven't got it yet. And I mean, the Wayland protocol does not guarantee that it'll come in the same message. But then it's crazy that even if we wait longer, that he's still wrong. Is 11 the file descriptor? No, 11 should be the size. Unless, like the file descriptor is supposed to come in a, like, out of band thing. Like, the receive message call is supposed to get message control len greater than 0. And yeah, did it send the type event? Did it send the type event first? I mean, probably, right? But like, I guess what I don't understand is I guess we could do like this in a loop. We could try this. Just like keep reading forever until you fucking get one. So it's like self client stream reader fdlist pop or else do this continue fd is this, like literally just wait fucking forever. We could do something like this. Yeah, but he does just give up there too. Is your Wayland manager your client app? My client app. What the fuck? I guess it's possible that we've lost it somewhere before, but like, can we message control len equals 0? Just delete every fucking line that says that. Oops. And then delete any line that isn't receive message. So it's literally, we've only ever got a file descriptor one time ever. Okay, we have to look at the Wayland source code. We don't have it, or the Kwin source code maybe even. Because something is not working the way it's supposed to. So this guy, when he sends this stuff, is supposed to call probably, I think we saw it somewhere, it was like update key map. And then this guy ends up somewhere where he calls update modifiers or something. No. He sends the like up the new key map somewhere. WL keyboard. Somewhere. What is this what is this? It's key map. Here we go. This thing. Send key map. So what is D here? D is... Do you always receive messages with a non-empty file descriptor buffer? If you ever receive a message and don't give it an ancillary data buffer, the kernel will silently drop the files. I don't think so, but you're right that is worth checking. It is worth checking. This. Input method, v1 interface private. Great. Input method, v1 interface private. This is defined here somewhere. And then this guy. Hello? Oh, he inherits from WL keyboard. I see. Great. So he does think that he's sending the file descriptor here, which is going through Qt Wayland server, which is a little annoying. So I don't know if we have the source code for that anywhere. Do I have like Qt checked out? Qt Wayland server. WL keyboard maybe? Send key map. Blah, 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 blah. Hello? Is send key map defined somewhere else? Who the fuck defines that? Why is it not defined anywhere in this project? Am I stupid? Am I crazy? It might be generated from Wayland protocol XML definition, but like not as like a raw unnamespaced function. That's crazy. But like maybe, yeah, if these guys in like CMake are calling like some crazy, if they're generating their own Qt Wayland shit. Oh, it could be in the header, I guess. If it's like if it's like a QMock event or something. Annoying. Annoying. But I mean, at least we can tell from here that he thinks he's sending one. I wonder if we can check what's happening in GLFW. Right? We could run an app that works and try to breakpoint on them getting the key map or something. Or we could like strace. Yeah, we could like strace GLFW and see, maybe. Although we would have to, I guess if we straced and ran GDB with a breakpoint, we might be able to get something interesting. Yeah, maybe that's the play. Maybe that's the play. Key map. Where, okay, so if we breakpoint on this function, then also run strace. So this is WL window 1649. We'll get there. We'll get there. You can run any app that uses libwayland client with Wayland debug equals 1 in the environment. It will dump all events to the console. Ooh, interesting. Let's try that. Wayland debug equals 1. Ah, hype. And can we grep for key map? What is it? Is that the fucking event name? I keep forgetting. Yeah, key map. Yeah, okay. Cool. So then we can strace this as well. Cool. And then we can look at this guy. What? Oopsies. Okay, key map. So this guy, the question is where is this FD5 coming from? Here. Right? So he is, in fact, getting one of these, which is interesting. That is interesting. So, Yeah, it's like, it's just behaving differently. Where do you register a keyboard event handler? We don't have like event handlers really. Like we kind of just have we have like message parsing that happens as like a loop somewhere. So like we're not using libwayland, so we don't have like their event handlers. Then you're not gonna get a key map. Oh, sorry, maybe I misunderstood. We are calling get keyboard, and then we get the key map event. We are getting a key map. It's telling us that he's giving us the key map event. That's why we're crashing. It's because we're trying to process that thing and it's failing. We that's like where we started, is we called get key map on like start, or get keyboard on start. And he's sending us a key map. So some like, does it give you a key repeat as well? Maybe. I don't know. I haven't checked. But like, if he is sending us this event, then we are getting this message, and this message is coming without a file descriptor, and so that's the problem, right? Like, if we weren't getting this message, we wouldn't be crashing. Okay. So I think I want to double check. Maybe it's like possible that that's a pointer or handle. No, it's not. What do you mean? It's a file descriptor is a file descriptor. And the file descriptor comes in, right? In the message. That's like how everything's always, like, that's how these Wayland messages work, as far as I understand them, right? They have file descriptors attached to them, and then you like look at the file descriptor. And that's confirmed by, like, if we look at the libwayland version of this thing, we see the same behavior, right? He's like, here's the file descriptor number, and we go, okay. Or not the file descriptor number, sorry. These file descriptors, as far as I understand them, at least in the other cases where we've seen them, as far, you say you're getting a keyboard, I sent it to keyboard handler. We're calling the get keyboard function on the WL keyboard interface, which triggers this like behavior. Okay, yeah. I mean, we have confirmed that, like, in the libwayland version, we are seeing this stuff come in. It could be possible that we're not parsing multiple messages correctly, because this guy does have multiple IO vectors. Message IOV len 2. I don't think we're ever doing that. Which could be playing into this. I don't think, but let's look at our like reading section. What protocol version are you using when binding WLC? Great question. Great question. Does that change this? It could. I think we just mirror back what they asked for, but we'll see. We call bind WLC. Where does this go? We just mirror the version they gave us back. We just assume they're the same, which is probably fucking stupid. That's probably not correct, but I don't think that, like, I don't see anything in here talking about how the file descriptor doesn't go. You know, it's saying like you have to map it differently, but should be fine. Should be. I want to look at our reader. How do we get data from this thing? We say we have one IOVec. Could be. I don't really know why it would matter. Like, I would think that if we call receive message, I would think that if we call receive message with one IO vector, then like we would just call it twice, right? Is the key map format 0? I mean, the size is non-null, so, and I don't think the key map format is 0. I should double check. Yeah, I want to take a look at this. Man, receive message. What happens? Okay, here we go. Okay. If okay, wait, hold on. Receive message is used to receive message from a socket. They may be used to receive data on both connectionless and connection-oriented sockets. The page first describes common features of all three system calls, then describes the differences between the calls. The only difference between receive and read is the presence of flags. The zero argument receive is generally equivalent to read, but see notes. This is equivalent to that. All three calls return the size of message on successful completion. If message is too long to fit in the supplied buffer, excess bytes may be discarded depending on the type of socket the message was received from. So I guess maybe if they're sending like a vectored message and we don't have the vectored message, like the vector to receive, we might drop. That's not impossible. If no message is available on the socket, the receive call waits for the message to arrive, unless the socket is non-blocking, in which case value negative will return and error knows again would block. The receive calls normally return any data available up to the requested amount, rather than waiting for a receipt of full amount requested. Okay. Receive message call uses a message header structure to minimize the number of directly supplied arguments. The structure is defined as follows. Message name field is caller allocated buffer used to return the source address. I don't give a fuck about that. We should set name len, blah, blah. The fields message IO vector and IO vector len are described scatter gather locations as discussed in read v. Message control has size message control ren points to a buffer for blah, 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 blah. I guess this is actually relevant. We should read this. When receive message is called, message control len should retain the size of the available buffer in message control. Upon return from a successful control call, it will contain the size of the control message sequence. Okay. Man, read v. I don't think that this makes sense for this to be dependent, but it is a difference in what we're seeing in the S trace. So we'll see. Yeah, man 7 units search for SCM. Yeah. I agree. Convoluted operations is referred to as passing a file description to another process. However, more accurately, what is being passed is a reference to open file description, and receiving process is likely to be a different file descriptor. Yep, sure. If the buffer used to receive the ancillary data containing file descriptors is too small or absent, then the ancillary data is truncated, and the excess file descriptors are automatically closed. If the number of file descriptors received in the ancillary data would cause the process to exceed its R limit, no file proves this limit, the excess file descriptors are automatically closed. The kernel constant SCM max FD defines a limit on the number of file descriptors in the array. Attempting to send an array longer than this limit causes send message to fail. Yeah, I mean, this is nothing crazy. This is like what we're doing right now. We're using this. We're receiving. I will be clear. We successfully receive file descriptors, right? Like as part of our like GPU negotiation, we have to do this already, and it works, right? So the problem is that in this message, something is different. You know what I mean? Is it possible that this is too small? I don't think so. So we use. I guess like theoretically it could be, but it doesn't make that much sense to me. If it sends multiple types of ancillary data, you have to jump to the next headers until you hit the SCM rights one. Sure, but like our S trace is showing that that's not the problem, right? Like, hold on. Hold on. God damn it. There we go. Right, so if we look at like here, we basically, if we look for message control len here and then grep out anything where message control len is 0, i.e. they didn't send any file descriptors. So we kind of go like message control len is 0, just kind of delete all of these and then delete all lines that aren't received messages. Like the only time we are ever seeing a received message that has SCM writes in it, according to strace, is when we are getting the GPU format descriptor table at the beginning, right? Which means that like either he's not setting the file descriptor, or he's not supposed to. But like the fact that we're getting a size come in on this thing feels like we must be. You know what I mean? And so I guess it could be some difference in how how do I say this? How GLFW is registering for this thing, maybe Kwin has like some degenerate case. Obviously the format was a huge number, which is an invalid parse. Yeah, you know what? That sounds kind of right. I would agree with that. Yeah, that does seem fucking wrong, huh? Yeah, I'm on your side there. I agree. I very much agree. Because key map format should be one of 0 or 1. So the fact that it's not is very concerning. Why did that say WL display is delete? Hold on, we can look. This is normal. This is normal. Where like some file descriptor, some like each frame, it's gonna like delete some objects that we sent it or something, right? So this, we're seeing like we probably send it 15 all the time, and it like deletes it up after. But you're right, this does look fucked. This does just look fucked. I will agree with that. So the question would be why? Why? So we haven't had like a parse error in a long time. So we can assume that he's getting the header correct, right? Because we expect to see a key map, and we're getting a key map, I think. I assume that it's like one of the format has changed over time, or one of these is fucked. So what are the fields of this structure? Key map, we think it's F32 file descriptor, which is like out of band size. We just put FD void here so that like we notice it. So we think that should be format and size, which this thing does seem to think it is. What size of void? Is it not 0? I assume size of void is 0. It has been up until this point. We could like check some like information about this, but also like the data, we're not like just mapping the struct in, right? We're seeing that as we see two U32s back to back, we call get U32, right? So we don't parse anything. We're expecting to see maybe there's some sort of like alignment issue that we missed. Yeah, it could be. Wait, okay, so could be. Let's look at the Wayland's spec. Void is 0, but you can't have void there. But like void's not in the message. Void's just like a thing in our type so that we can look at it. Like that's not, we're not like mapping the struct in directly. FTT is usize, is FTT. No, but like the file descriptor doesn't come in that band. Like it's like we have like data control kind of hand wavy, like the control. And in data, we have like some message, you know, blah 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 blah. And in here, we should see like header followed by where was it? We should have header followed by like something that resembles format as a U32 and size as a U32, right? And in this header, because we know that this is a key map, then we know to look at this control stream and find the file descriptor 5 that matches this and to pull it out. Right? So that's what our struct here is being used as like our internal representation of this thing. And then what we do is we walk the struct in order and like pull the data out as we need it, is what's supposed to happen. Now, this get U32 is like not doing any alignment checks, which does seem kind of fucking sketchy. But I don't know why anywhere that, like, I don't know why this would be the first time we're seeing this problem. But it seems likely. I mean, we know it's fucked, so. Because you're right that the format is like completely fucking out to lunch. Can I... Here we go, protocol. So wire format here. The protocol is sent over Unix domain stream socket, where the endpoint is usually named this. Can be changed by this, blah, blah, blah. Every message is structured as 32-bit words. Values are represented in the host's byte order. Every message is structured as 32-bit words. The first word is the sender's object ID. The second has 2 parts, a 16-bit. The payload describes the request event arguments. Every argument is always aligned to 32 bits. Yeah, I mean, it seems like likely that we're fucking that up. Where padding is required, the value of padding is undefined. And like, so self-consume for, I mean, yeah, this string looks kind of like we are attempting to do alignments. But it's possible. Okay. So the other thing here is it could be that we're not consuming the end of the header correctly, but the header is always this. So he's always a 64-bit header. I'm missing something. Can we just fucking dump the thing and parse it by hand? Let's just fucking parse it by hand. Let's just fucking dump it. Okay. For event data byte. We do this. Maybe more like this. And then we print byte. And then can we say data? Okay. Oh, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to do that. T-Monks me back, please. Are you reading the header first in a separate C message call? Because that's going to have the file descriptor attached in the ancillary stream, and you might be losing it there. But like every single we in our receive message, we, no matter what, always, if we see file descriptors, like chuck them into this like file descriptor list. So we just like assume all the time if we see a file descriptor, we'll push it into a list and assume that we'll get it later. And so like again, we're reading, I guess, okay, to be clear, we are reading this stuff directly into a like std.io reader buffer, right? So we're kind of like allowing ourselves to do as much reading as we need at once. We're just calling receive message. Every time we call receive message, we check if there's a file descriptor and shove it into this list. And then like later, we parse the messages kind of one by one and check the list. We might get it after. Yes, I agree. But then we are doing this in a loop right now to try to get more later, and it's like still not working. You don't testing against M1, but like I kind of do. It's fine. It's fine. Like I'm pretty sure I do. Like, let me double check. I'm pretty sure I do. Right. We do this. We like check errors. We check for if this thing is an error, and if it's not, if it is, then we freak the fuck out. -1 is like, I don't trust. It's because like I'm using like the syscall interface instead of the libc interface, and so it's not -1. It's actually like negative erno, and then this covers that. This covers that. It's not like the read is failing, because again, from strace, we don't see any messages in strace where there's a file descriptor being passed. That's the fucking weird part, right? It's like, why the fuck is he not doing that? But if this is like just the wrong message, if he's just not sending us the key map yet and we're like parsing it as the key map, or like we're misinterpreting the key map, that seems likely to be like related. You know what I mean? So I am happy to continue looking at that. Okay. Also, can we let's just crash here because we know it's broken. Here's the deal: if you get format 0, you'll never get an FD. I don't believe that though. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, if we were seeing format 0, then I'd be way more willing to like accept that as an option. But what we saw in the Qt Wayland implementation is that they gave us a file descriptor to dev null in that case, right? And so like even then, I think that they have to send us one. That's my understanding because it's in the fucking API. Okay. So when we get this WL keyboard thing, I mean, this is already concerning, right? Because this is longer than the 1, 2, this should be 2 uints, so this should be 8 bytes, right? So like, what the fuck is going on here? Right? Why isn't that hex? It is. It's just I forgot to do leading zeros. But this is way too fucking long. Which is quite concerning. Quite concerning. Is that what the header? No, it shouldn't be. It should not be, because everyone else is not, right? So like here we see callback data with a single U32, 4 bytes, right? Delete ID, single U32, 4 bytes, right? Like in places where, are there guys that are kind of sending more interesting things? It's hard to like parse, but I'm pretty sure like this is wrong. There's something crazy going on here. I guess like I don't really know what this means. Could be something there. We could also look at. Let's look at the XML again. We have seen in the past, by the way, that sometimes the Wayland XML just fucking lies. Like we know for sure that the bind argument, what it says bind does, is untrue. So we do need to keep an eye out for that. But yeah, I mean, it does think that it's sending us 2 uints. So then, what the fuck is going on? I guess there's also an option that there's a newer version of the protocol or something. Can we check what? Let's like write down the version. I'm curious. When we call bind on the seat. When we call bind on the seat, this will not change, but like it's worth checking. I'm not gonna just trust you for saying no. Like, I don't fucking know. So when we call bind here, bind on seat, I guess. Let's just double check the seat version. WL seat params. Looks like that void is generating extra receive for whatever reason. I really doubt it, but maybe. So they have version 9. So can we double check like older versions of the protocol? Is that like a thing we could do? I guess I just want to look at like the fucking lib Wayland source code. That's the play. Right. Key map. Um. Um. Format FD size. I guess like is it also possible that our header is wrong? I guess we should print the header as well before we go into here. And then this remains valid. Yep, that's my understanding. Size 24. That is fucking weird, right? Like, that's really fucking weird for him to be a 2-parameter thing and to have size of 24. Oh, but minus the header size? So minus 8? Yeah. So this is parsing correctly according to this. I guess the ID could be busted. And we might not have noticed. We're resolving this thing maybe as a WL keyboard when we shouldn't have. Like, that's the thing that would make most sense to me right now is he's like, hey, I'm sending you a message for ID 9. And we're like, ID 9, that's a keyboard. And he goes, no, 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 no. Not a keyboard. I think that makes the most sense of all the bugs that this could be. Can we get like some more detailed logs here? So let's like kind of like nuke these debugs. And can we turn on, we have like good debug logging, I think, for all of this Wayland shit. If we just set the log level to debug here. Let's not strace this thing. Okay. Oh, not good enough. Not good enough logging, probably. I'm a fucking idiot. I'm a fucking stupid, fucking dumb, fucking idiot, man. We're so stupid. We're so fucking stupid. We're so fucking stupid. Oh, you know. Where get keyboard? Yeah. Why don't we try typing get keyboard? So it just thought it was a fucking pointer. And then that explains why the bug was only happening when we moved the pointer over the window. God, fuck! It's fine. It's fine. That is consistent with all of the shit we were seeing. That is consistent. For real though. I mean, way better than an actual parsing bug. Yeah, I mean, it's like, it's nice. All right, so where the fuck were we? We were trying to look for this WL keyboard event. This is what I get for copy pasting. This always happens to me. So somewhere, let's copy paste this WL pointer line again. WL keyboard this time. And if we see key map, we do something, or otherwise we log the unused event. It's weird that you can get a key map for a pointer. How did that happen? So yeah, that's like unclear. The way that the Wayland protocol works is I say, hey, Mr. Server, I just allocated ID 9. Can you make ID 9 a keyboard now, right? And he goes, okay. And then when he gets a keyboard event, he goes, hey, keyboard event. So that means I'm sending a keyboard event to 9, and I'm sending like command 049, which if you are a keyboard maps to key map. But like every single event type or every single like object type has an event 0. They're just all different event 0s. And so like we have to be like, oh, keyboard event 0 means key map. And so what we were doing is we were saying him send a pointer movement as 0, and we were going, pointer 0, that's keyboard 0, because we just like typed the wrong fucking function, and we like correlated them incorrectly. And then we were like, where the fuck is our fucking file descriptor? Where is it? Why aren't you sending it to us? And he's like, bro, I'm just sending you the pointer moving. Oopies. It's a hard life out here. Okay, so here we probably need to look at the format. And if it is, why does he not like this? Oh, format like this. If it is, we don't parse enums right now, so we'll just do it by hand. Here, this is no key map. I don't know what this does. And then 1, we need to like map, key map, and parse into lib xkb common. Where is she? Where is she? Yeah. Else, this is a error. Invalid key map, or unhandled key map is probably more accurate. Okay. And so what are we supposed to fucking do? This must be a hard project. I don't know if it's like particularly difficult. Do I have to unmap this stuff? Like, oh, this in here we don't. But here, okay, so what we're doing is we probably, in our scenario, we probably do want to do this. I think no matter what, I think the file descriptor gets closed after every event unconditionally, so I don't think we have to worry about that too much. So he wants this as map private by the recipient, which we are doing. Wonderful. And I guess now we need to link xkb common and do something. So this is probably in window. We are linking xkb common. which he's mad about probably because we don't actually have this in our environment. So let's kind of get that up and running. Bum, 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 bum. Hopefully libxkbcommon was the right thing. I just kind of guessed. Are you, man? Not to be a smartass, what are you doing? We're making a Wayland window manager. Wayland window manager. All right, he's still pissed. Oh, but now, not because he can't link to the library anymore, but because we have, like, unused fucking variables. Okay, so I guess here we're just like, hit me up with some xkbcommon / xkbcommon.h. And then here, I guess we call into some function libxkbcommon example. Let's check this fucking quick guide, baby. And we want to see code for a client if they have that somewhere. They don't, but that's okay. For Wayland client, here we go. We just call this key map is xkb key map new from string, which we need a context for. So I guess somewhere we probably have like an xkb context, which I think will eventually, like, you know, surely this needs an abstraction somewhere. But for now, we just kind of do it in line. And what is our context? It's probably like xkb context like this, probably, right? Probably. This is an opaque struct, which means that this is probably a pointer to an xkb context. Probably, if I had to guess. Probably somewhere in here where like xkb context is C xkb context new? No flags? Or else error, no xkb in it, maybe, or something. And then this is a C xkb context. Probably if we fail here, we have to free this thing. Free? xkb context release, maybe? Release? Delete? Really? Free? Really? Whoa, what the fuck? They always have free functions. It has to be, because you're returning me a fucking pointer. Hello, sir? Sir? On ref, maybe? Ah, that's probably that. What if we don't read any of the API docs, randomly type shit, and then get mad when it doesn't work? How do we feel about that? I feel great about it. We probably have to return our errors if you think about it. Okay, so now we kind of slap this somewhere. Classic Spherophore, to be honest. Yeah, it is pretty classic. And then here, we're like, we probably have, you know, a key map, which is probably like a C xkb key map. xkb key map. Whatever. Oh, that's I don't know how I managed to do this. I typed it the second time as a joke, but I must have like really fucked something up before. Because I was like, surely typing it the second time will get me what I want. So this is like xkb key map from new from string. Perfect. We have some context here. Okay. And then we have the string. Oh, mapped. Beautiful. Beautiful. Format is I think v1, right? I think it said in the protocol that it has to be v1 compatible. Libxkbcommon compatible. He doesn't really say. What does this guy say? let's look. What does kwin do? What does kwin do? New from string. Hello? Key map. Oh. Key, right. I forgot that kwin makes it. What does glfw do? New from string. They say v1, and so we will say v1. Stolen from glfw. And then I guess this seems fine. Okay, so key map is probably null by default. Okay, so there we go. Oh, I guess we have to unmap this stuff. M unmap. Here we go. I hope that this doesn't reference anything in the string long term. Why are we not commenting? We did. Look, we commented here. I don't comment things that are obvious to me. But you know, it is what it is. I do think that my comments are pretty sparse compared to most people. I'm like of the opinion that like you should read code, not comments, most of the time. And then most of the time, like the why is like apparent, except for like rare cases, in which case a comment is warranted, in my mind. But it's different for everyone. Fix me parse enum correctly. Ding dong. If we don't get a key map, we probably just break. We probably don't have anything that we care about doing here. And then if we do, we're kind of assuming that this is expected. Sure. So then when we get a key, we should be able to like look it up in the fucking key map? Probably. Right? How hard could it be? How hard could it be? Do I care about these like enter and leave events, by the way? I don't really know. Let's just look at key. We'll just not think about it. Easy fix. Okay, so this guy sends a serial. I don't know what the serial is. He sends us a time. I don't know why we care about that. The key we surely care about. And then the state, he wants to be release, press repeat. Whoa. I thought that repeat was not part of the Wayland shit. Does this mean that the fucking window manager is spamming us with repeat events? That's crazy. Because then what's the point in repeat info if he's gonna give us repeats? We'll see. Can we just print this for now? Well, okay, we know that we want to like convert this thing. XKB. All right, how's this gonna work? Somewhere we need to do XKB state key get UTF-8 XKB, which comes from key code. Sure. So when they say key here, do they mean key code, not key sim, which is its own thing? Oh yeah, so we don't actually. This is wonderful. Okay. So we have some like out buff. Probably 4 U8s is good enough, right? Oh, is it? What's like the maximum UTF-8 character that can be typed on a keyboard, right? This is different than the maximum length of a Unicode character, which is like kind of unbounded, right? It's like surely there's no key on my keyboard for like a family with seven white people and 3 girl children and 2 young boys, right? Like surely there's no button on a keyboard for that. Creator, actually. Right, like I doubt that that's possible. So I feel like a 4-byte buffer has gotta be sufficient. You know, and here we're like, you should do a series on a custom QMK keyboard. What's a QMK keyboard? You forgot the dog? Can you put a dog in the family? uh, what is state here? Is state the context? No, state is a state. What the fuck is an XKB state, and how is it different than an XKB context? Do we need to read something? Where is they had like better looking docs somewhere? Lib XKB. I think it was like XKB common GitHub pages. I think was where I think they had this. Trust me, make it 32. You can't make me. I'll just crash my client. Quick guide. Oh wait, do they allocate internally? Oh no, buffer here, size. Oh, that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun. They call it once with null. Sure, we could do that, I guess. But like whatever. Oh wait, what is the state though? This is where I got lost. State. Context, key map. Which remembers things like which keyboard modifiers and LEDs are active. Who fucking gives a shit which LEDs are active? Like, who gives a fuck? But, okay. XKB state. Fix me. These need to be freed, ding dong. Alright. Oopsies. Boom, 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 boom. Boom. State. So then what up? What else is in here? State. Key. So const key code is the key plus 8. LOL. X11 history. Did we have a reference for this somewhere? I'm gonna make Zig flash in the caps lock lit and rhythm with my music. You're welcome. Oh yeah, I fucking looked. I couldn't find Zig. I looked for it the other day and I couldn't find it. Is it like on your GitHub? I just searched like Grey Hat or Zig Amp and didn't come up with anything. Was I looking in the wrong spot? Speaking of Zig Amp, is that like a thing that I can look at? Oh my god, you, dude, I'm gonna forget that. Self-hosting your own Git shit? That's crazy. I mean, not actually that crazy, but pretty funny. Outbuff LAN. Self-hosting. I mean, not like it's just like, oh, that makes sense why I couldn't find it. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this comes with a key map. Whoa. Which kind of means that here we kind of do this, I guess. So we probably have to be like a little careful here. Probably we have to do like unref probably because we need to like collect these things together probably, right? Because this thing might fail. And then this stuff all goes like here, I guess. If the state depends on the key map, then collecting these guys together kind of makes sense. Like this? I don't know, man. Okay, who's mad now? Why? What's your fucking problem? Error, invalid key map. Easy. Okay, so now we have key map is self key map or else return error no key map. And then we can do this key map dot state. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. We get the length out of here. And then what does this guy return on failure? It's got to be like C int, so it's like probably less than 0. Return error invalid key or something. And then here we need to like push this into like an input event list. But for now, let's just print it. Key out buff from 0 to len. Easy peasy. Let's not do this 2 dot. We're debug spamming. We're debug spamming. Shut the fuck up, please. God. We're still spamming because we probably left some print somewhere that we didn't want. Yeah, here we go. Get the fuck out of here. Shut up. Okay, A, S, D, F. So if I'm holding it, we don't get repeat events, which is good. But we do need to write down if it goes up or down. So I guess these things need to go into somewhere, like our input queue. Right, because so we kind of have like, you know, key, UTF-8, key or something. Hey Ben, been a minute, been busy. Welcome back. Is this crazy? What should we do here? What should we do here, right? So we have like an array of events. We could kind of just allocate these things on the like an event input event allocator and then just like nuke it every once in a while. That's not that crazy. We could say that these UTF-8 keys are all going to be less than 4 bytes and then just have 4 bytes for everything in the input queue. That's also probably not crazy because like amount of stuff in the input queue is probably relatively small. So it probably doesn't matter. We also already have pointer pause in this union, which is 8 bytes long already. So like 4 bytes here is like totally reasonable, right? There's no cost to doing this right now. I guess technically we probably want to do like this, right? Because, you know, something like this. Yeah, I mean, that's not like that crazy. Data 7. Yeah, you might as well, right? If we can fit 7 in here without any cost. You know, pointer pause is 8 bytes. So we have 8 to play with. And then I guess we could even do a little like assert here. How do you do this? You do like that like size of input event is equal to 8, right? And then this being here makes it like pretty obvious what's happening. Like we could even do this like here, right? He doesn't like that. Really? What is the size? Oh, it's because the fucking union enum is gonna be bigger. Can I specify like this and then do this? Interesting. Yeah, I guess. How do I test this? What is like what is this? compile log size of input event. Is this like a thing I can do right now? Does it let me print numbers? Hello? Oh, here. Give it a sec. So he's like 19? 19? What the fuck? Why? Oh no, 12. Probably because the enum is a U32, or... Yeah, because this is 8. So it means that the enum has to be... Do I have to specify, like, manually, like this? That's confusing to me. I'm confused. I guess maybe like because of like alignment problems, right? So if it's tag, then event type, and the event type has to be aligned to a 4-byte boundary because the first field in pointer pause is an F32. That would make sense. Yeah. Which means that we have more room, right? Which is kind of sick. Wait, fuck. What happened? Oh, we needed the input event type hack here. I think. Hold on. So this is 12 right now. If we do it like this, where we just like let it go, it's 16, yeah. That's even more confusing. How confusing? So I guess for whatever reason, the default enum is either like larger, or yeah, count time, calculate the buffer size. But how would you know? I guess maybe you can calculate the size of the backing enum. Default enum is U size. That seems crazy though, right? Can we do something like compile log size of enum? Like how do you like extract the enum type from the union again? It's like type info of input event union tag type. Right? It's this. One. Yeah, so that makes sense. Oh, yeah. So it even without the like manual type, it thinks it's 1. So then what is the like what the fuck is going on? Wait, now it's 12 again. What changed? Am I fucking stupid? Why is it 12 again? Oh, maybe this assertion was fine. And I just fucked that up. I see. Never mind, we're good. So we can make this 11 again. Oh, but making this 11 fucked shit up. That's what happened. Was when this was 7, it fit. Oh, because this maximum size is 8. I forgot. Because the alignment of this thing. I wonder if you change the alignment here. No. Okay. Never mind. 1 byte of like 1 byte of enum tag plus pointer pause align plus 4 byte alignment of input event plus 8 bytes of data. Okay. My bad. I forgot. I thought that by cranking this up, it was like still okay, but it's not, which I was just confused about. A Wayland tension fit, right? No, because the alignment of this, it's because like it's like this. I would also have thought so. Well, maybe. Wait, why? Oh, it's cleverer than I thought. It's cleverer than I thought. No, you're right. You're right because it's I was confused. I thought it was like this. I thought it was data where like every chunk of data was like aligned here and then like tag and like pad. Right? I thought it was this. But it's actually like tag data where data has like a line for each individual type here. That's clever. I didn't understand. That's kind of fun. Good eye. I misunderstood. Let's just do nothing for now, I guess. Cool. Which means that we, when we call get UTF-8, like UTF-8 or whatever, in window, here, I guess we want to do, like, I guess maybe this gets factored out. Does this make sense? I think so. And then this can be like, max len is 10, max len goes here. And then this becomes UTF-8 key max len here. Which I feel like makes sense. And so now we can put this thing in the queue. Is this pending? How does that work? I think that the pointer events and the key events, like I remember there being like a frame thing for the pointer frame here, but it looks like there are no frames for keyboard. Why? Okay. Sure, if you fucking say so. So we can just like raw append to input events, which is confusing. If you say so. From slice out buff 0. Something like this. Am I missing a bracket somewhere? No, that feels right. I guess it's like this is a UTF-8 key with data is undefined and len is s len, and then we memcopy into ret data from 0 to s len from s, and then we return ret. Boom. I don't really know in this language, by the way. I don't really know how the compiler handles this versus like pointer parameters. You know what I mean? Like in C, you would almost always pass in a pointer to UTF-8 key instead of returning it. I don't really know how this handles, you know? What's he pissed about? Maybe here? Okay. Try here. And then in example main, we should be able to be like, got key, and we put key slice here. Okay, we have fucked something up here. Because he's not printing a D there. Also, like, it wasn't new lining, but I wasn't seeing the key, which is confusing, because it was working before. Oh, it's because when we push pending events. No, we do just append to the normal input events here. And he is getting the like a thing there. Like he thinks that he's getting key presses, but he's just not correctly identifying what it is. So what the fuck is happening there? Because when we print it here, like, this worked, no? Yeah, he's writing D there. So what's the difference here? Like, am I stupid? You're navigating too fast, but guessing switch event key is a copy. But isn't that fine? Like, here... Okay, so here, before we append to the input event list, he says D. He says D. Then, this input event list, eventually, when we're iterating it in our example, he copies the key out, which should be fine, right? Because in here, everything is like in line, right? So he should come up with data that's correct, right? But unless this slice function, we fucked it up somehow. No. Let's see if it like thinks it's the right length. He does think it's the right length, which is good. So what the fuck is going on here? Can we print this thing as hex? 4K slice. Can we print this as hex really quick? I'm assuming that we're going to see a bunch of A's. Even more confusing, we're seeing numbers that correspond with the right answer. A is 61, S is 73, D is 64, F is 66. Like, that's right? 61, 73, yeah, I mean, that's right. So then what the fuck is going on? That's so much more confusing. Probably this has to be my pointer. It's probably this. When I call slice, he needs to be referencing what I think it's that like K slice copied K here, made a temporary, then returned a slice to his own data because I did this by value, not by pointer. I bet you that's it. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Wonderful. Wonderful. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. All right. Well, that was a long time to get something that should have been simple. So do we want, the question is, is, do we have time to do server input handling? 25 minutes. It would be nice. I feel like it shouldn't be too bad. Shouldn't be too bad. We do have to maybe kind of bring this down a little bit. This API might be wrong, right? Because from the Wayland server's perspective, we actually kind of want the raw event code, right? Not the event code as like a UTF-8 key, which is kind of interesting. So that means that like this input queue, oopsies, there goes my phone again. This input queue needs to store this thing as a like scan code, honestly, or like the key code from evdev. How confusing. Which means that like the UTF-8 resolution needs to happen later. So it's almost like this guy almost wants to be like a evdev key or something. And the UTF-8 key doesn't want to go in here at all. So all of this was like, all the time we spent on this was useless, but that's okay. So I think that it's more like this is what we want to do. And then callers of this, since they're gonna have like scratch allocators around, it's like fine for them to allocate. There's no reason that we can't do it like this. Then it's literally just like in here. I guess we have the key code is U32. And we probably store a reference back to the window. Maybe. And that lets us do like fix me. This will eventually will be a pointer to XKB abstraction that doesn't exist yet, right? Instead of pointing back to the window. And then we do this stuff over there. So we go here and we go window.keymap here, self key code here. We do it with null and 0 first to get the length. Then we alloc len. Cool. And then we do it again here. Easy peasy. I guess we should check this again. Fine. We'll fucking check. Okay. And then that means that when we get these guys, we're literally just like input events append self-alloc with this shit is params key. Hello? Also +8. LOL X11 history. And then I guess this is actually like key code is this, and window is self, bing bang boom. And then I guess we also need like this is no longer an UTF-8 key, this is just key, and this is no longer UTF-8 key, this is key. And we also want to store like the state as well. Squiggle X seems to work on strings in Zig 15.2, slices of U8. Sick. How do we get like the button press here? Like we probably need to say if it's down or up, right? State. Okay, sure. And then we'll put a fix me on state where it's like, enum. Oh, we should just do it now. State. So it's like what? Released, pressed, repeated. Fix me. Should this be duplicated from like Wayland XML? What are you doing? Input handling for our Wayland compositor. Why can't I do this? What's he fucking pissed about? Hello? Oh. Okay. Sure. If you say so. And then this is like stud meta enum from int to enum of key state, or else return error invalid key. Wowza. What's he pissed about now? Oh, catch? I guess just try then. He'll figure it out. Key. Do I have a scratch allocator here? Surely, right? FBA allocator. And then I guess we want to do like a checkpoint here. FBA and index is boom, boom, checkpoint. Okay, that's easy peasy. This thing can in fact fail. So true right now. This incast is safe because we did a less than 0 check above. He's pissed off for some fucking reason somewhere. Probably in this log because we didn't write try here. Oh no, I just noticed the chance of key repeat behavior in protocol 10. Yeah, unfortunato, huh? Okay, does this make a little more sense? Nope, he's fucking pissy. How did we manage to get it wrong this time? How did we manage to get it wrong this time? I'm actually confused. I'm actually confused. I guess it's like maybe this is relevant where like the error does have no. Okay, he's still mad. What did we get then? Oh, I guess this is not allowed. This is not allowed. That's why. I'm a dumbass because internal state is also handled by the same scratch. It's not a scratch allocator. Oh, but it's still wrong. Still wrong. What is happening here? He's just null. What in the fuck? What in the fuck? Huh. Huh. I actually have like absolutely no idea why this isn't working. What is the length supposed to be? Like, what does it think it's doing? It thinks that it has one length, but every value is 0. How confusing. So that means that, like, this must not be doing what I think it's doing. This, okay, let's look at the docs for this function. Am I fucking, oh. I don't think this should matter. Retlen here is fine. Can we look at the fucking actual API docs? Sir? Alright. This. Return the number of bytes required for the string, excluding null byte. Oh. Okay. Okay. Need 1 byte for null, even though we don't want it. Frowny face. There we go, that's better. And then that means that this, actually, we want to return ret from 0 to len. And then this is a leaky thing to be doing, but also fuck it, because we leak everywhere all the time by design. By design! Which means we don't have to think about it. Easy fix. If you are okay with leaking, then it solves all of your leaks. You know, if you think about it. There we go. There we go. And that brings us to 145, which makes the chance of us doing the server stuff correctly way lower. Try a, yeah, can I change my keyboard to something like fucked up? And by fucked up, I mean like not English. In my mind, anything that is not English is fucked up. And that's true and real and will be true forever. Like German is the one that I saw. So here, if I go in here and I start typing like semicolon, I get like the funny O. Okay, and then if I do that on my window. Oh, let's fucking go, baby. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Gotta be careful because if I left that on, I wouldn't be able to get and close this window. I wouldn't be able to get back to it anymore because I don't know how to find it except for through settings. He's speaking in German, which I feel like I shouldn't get mad at because I was just typing German, but also I don't know what it says and I don't know if he's saying slurs at me. So, don't know what to do about that. I guess I'll leave it. But then I don't want to, now that you guys know you could say slurs and I wouldn't know, now it's like maybe I should delete it. No more other languages. And if you're saying slurs, somebody else has to warn me. That's the rule now. Okay. Well, this problem is actually just completely dodged because I'm going to stop streaming now because we are at an hour 48, an hour 48, which is like a pretty good time to call it. I'm surprised at how much time this took us, given that nothing we did was that complicated. Right? Like, what did we do? We like linked XKB common and we like, oh, it was all of the like all of the file descriptor parsing with this key map parsing mistake. This one line here, where was it? This line cost us like an hour. But it is what it is. But yeah, we made some progress. Sometimes if you fuck something up, it's just the way it goes. So, probably we'll do a main stream where we do the compositor side. I'm not entirely sure because if it turns out that that's like a 15-minute exercise, that it's not worth doing on the main segment. So I'll think about what is left here and we'll decide accordingly. But we will come back and work on this more tomorrow. Cool. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what we saw, we stream most days 12:30 to 4 Pacific time. It is 3:40 now, so anywhere between, what is that, 3 hours ago and 20 minutes from now is when you should expect to see us live. We're working on this thing. Eventually, I'm hoping to get back to, I want to make a Linux operating system for my phone, which is kind of what this is part of, is like, it would be fun to be able to like make a Wayland compositor that works on my phone as well. But before we do that, we're probably like, I'm sure that we're going to be on this for a long time because there's so much more to do, right? Taskbar, stream support, which is like Pipewire stuff, like probably like notification daemon, and then we're probably going to find out like there's a whole bunch of other issues. Before going back to the phone stuff, I also think our GUI framework needs a lot of work. So like maybe we do a text editor in between now and then. But anyways, lots of stuff coming up. So if you want to see that, swing back by. But obviously, no pressure. You can support on YouTube members, Twitch, Patreon, GitHub. If you support on GitHub, you don't get anything in return. If you support on the other three, you get access to the VODs I don't post on YouTube. I think that's it. YouTube, peace out. Twitch is find someone to raid.